Hello dear students, very good morning. Welcome you back to English literature class. Today we'll proceed further with chapter 1, Civilizing Huck and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. As we discussed, this is second part of the novel The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, okay, which is written by Mark Twain. Okay, so far we have studied Huckleberry Finn has become now very rich after he has after he has got a share in the treasure which he and Tom Sawyer found in the cave which was left by the robbers, and there is $6,000, okay, and he has put the money on interest, and which is fetching to him $1 each day. And that day, $1 was a huge amount of money. Okay. Now, Mrs. Douglas, means Widow Douglas, has decided to adopt Huckleberry Finn as her own son. And she is determined to make him civilized child. Okay, and this has given the name of title of this chapter, Civilizing Huck. How can you say a person civilized? Of course, if the person has good manners, he follows discipline, okay, of course the person will be called civilized. And all these qualities are badly required by Huckleberry Finn. You know, Huckleberry's mother's death long back ago. He has his father. He is a great drunkard. So after having under the influence of liquor, he beats him frequently. Okay, and he doesn't have time to tell Huckleberry what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so if there is nobody to take care of him, so he has adopted many bad habits. Okay, now Mrs. Douglas first of all starts making Huckleberry Finn disciplined. Okay, so as soon as the bell for supper rings, Huckleberry has to reach the table. Okay, then Mrs. Douglas teaches him about prophets and bulrushes. That is, bulrushes means plants, kind of plant, you know. But Huckleberry doesn't find any interest in all these things at all, because he has never followed any discipline at all. He has never been under the rules. Whatever he wanted, he has been doing so far. So, he doesn't like the life during his stay with Widow Douglas. Okay. And in the meantime, Widow Douglas' cousin, Miss Watson, comes and she starts teaching him spellings that Huckleberry finds quite tough. Okay. And Miss Watson starts scolding him, means rebuking him, and of course criticizing him, and she does that for an hour. And by God's grace, Widow Douglas comes and saves him. That's what we have read so far. Now, let's further. After that, everybody says prayers. Okay. After that incident, when Miss Watson rebukes him, and Widow Douglas comes and saves him, and then Huckleberry goes to his room with a stub of candle. What is called stub? That's remaining very small part of candle. Okay. When you have burned a candle, what happens? After burning, its size reduces, and we extinguish. We put off that candle, and that small part remains, and that is used later on. That is a stub. So stub, small remaining part. So as there is a darkness, so Huckleberry takes a stub of candles and goes to his room. There he tries to make himself cheerful, but in vain. Means useless. He cannot. He always remembers his old friends, how enjoyable his life was. Okay, how adventurous his life was. So he is feeling completely lonely there. I felt so lonesome. Lonesome means lonely. There is a difference between lonely and alone. Okay. Lonely means you are very sad. You are forced to live without any friend. Okay. That is lonely. But when you are alone, you have chosen it to live without anybody. Means you are not sad. In lonely you are sad, but in alone you are not sad. So after a long time, he hasn't slept. Because when you think about something, you don't sleep. Sleep hardly comes. Okay. It's 12 o'clock at night. As I heard the clock in the town go boom, boom, boom 12 times. Means 12 o'clock at night. But Huckleberry is still awaking. Still awake. Then suddenly he hears the branches and bush. Okay. Makes sound as though somebody was walking through. Okay. So he becomes silent and starts listening to those sounds. So I lay still and listened. Soon there is very soft meow meow sound. Okay. He understood. He recognized the sound and voice. And he also replies to that meowing sound. But in the softest way, so the other couldn't hear. And he scrambled out through the window. And so the sound was coming from outside the window, and there was trees and bushes outside the window. Means there was a wood behind that house. So he scrambles. Scramble means walk on fours. These two and your 2 feet. Just like an infant. Okay. You see in the picture. See here in the picture. He just scrambling. Means crawl also can say. Crawl on fours. And of course, he's walking through trees, and he has recognized the voice that it was of Tom Sawyer, his best friend. Okay. Now, Tom Sawyer and he both start walking, but very stealthily, tiptoeing. They were tiptoeing, means walk on toes without making any sound. Okay, walk stealthily, you can say. And then they passes among the trees, and then they climb up to the top of the hill, which is in the back side of the house of Mrs. Douglas. Okay. As they have reached there, the top of the hill, from there they see there are three, not more than 3 or 4 lights twinkling. It means some other boys have come. Okay, so 3-4 lights were twinkling. Twinkling means shining. Okay. Now, as a star twinkle, 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 little star, that you know very well. So shines. Now, so after that village, down the village, down the hill there was a village, and after that village there was Mississippi River. Okay, Mississippi River is very wide, means whole mile wide, means a mile wide. Now Huckleberry and Tom Sawyer now go down the hill and find other friends named Joe Harper, Ben Rogers, and 2 or 3 other boys, and they were hiding in the darkness of the tree. From there, all the friends started their journey in a boat. So they untie a boat from there only. The boat was of fishermen there, and they did the journey for 2.5 miles in that boat, and then went to the bank of the river. Went ashore means went to the bank means edge. Bank means not talking about the bank where you deposit your money. It's a bank of river. There are 2 banks of river, edge of river. Okay, this side or that side. So now they reach there, and then they go to again the group of bushes, clump of bushes there. We went to clump of bushes. Clump you have already studied in clump of lilac, means marsh collection. And there they lit candles. Lit means this third form of light. Light, lit means burn. They burn candles, and again they started moving on their force. It's on their 2 hands and knees, just like baby. And then after some time, after a while means after some time, they came to a large opening, and it was all cold, and of course it was wet also. Damp is wet. When it rains somewhere for a long time, when water falls somewhere for a long time, it becomes, there's a damp. Okay. So you know very well, there at the bank of the river, they have come to a clump of bushes, and there Tom showed them a hole in the hill just behind that bushes, and there then they start crawling, and they come to a large opening, and which is cold and wet, and there they stop. And you know why have they come? They have come there to form a gang of robbers. Who is going to be the leader? Of course, Tom Sawyer. Here says, Tom now spoke, "We'll start this band of robbers and call it Tom Sawyer's gang. Okay. And he also tells all the boys that if whoever wants to join the gang, he must take an oath, okay, and write his name in blood. You know, they are only children. They are going to form a gang of robbers. They don't know who the robbers are. You know, they have just read in the storybook how adventurous life a robber has, and then they also have decided to form. You know. So, well, dear students, that's all for today. Okay, you know, they are children only. So, all the children enjoy actually undisciplined life. And case of Huck is completely different because he lacks proper guidance and he doesn't have his mother. His father is drunkard. So here, both of them, he actually enjoys his life with his ruffian friends. Okay. And now here, Widow Douglas is trying to make him disciplined and civilized, but he doesn't like that kind of life. And it's 12 o'clock. And that time he suddenly hears sound, which is signal from his friend Tom Sawyer, and then both of them go to meet other friends, and all of them go to very far in the Mississippi River, and then they come to the edge of the river, and there they reach a very large opening, and there Tom says that he's going to make a gang of robbers, and whoever wants to join must take oath. Take oath means that promises that he will do something. Okay. And then he must write his name in blood. And this is only, they want to do just like adventure, just like a game. It's playful thing for them. Don't know the seriousness of the gang of robbers. Okay. So hope you all have enjoyed the class. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.